So we've arrived at the famous Dzong Punakha, site of the recent venue of the recent royal wedding. Wow, isn't it wonderful? Gosh, what a bridge! This is charming! That Buddhist monk just burped in my face. The jacarandas are not out, but one can imagine what it's like with the lilac bloom. The Dzong, which is pretty major. Padma Ho, Om Mani Padma Ho, Om Mani Padma Ho in Sanskrit. The great door to the first courtyard of the palace. All the courtiers ring the prayer wheel on the way out.
Winter capital.
It's the winter capital. So all the monks come here in the winter. Not a bad place to live. Beautiful Bodhi tree, the Buddha Bodhi tree, the tree of enlightenment.
Yeah.
This is where the big tanka was for the main ceremonies for the royal wedding. So that's the administrative wing. The administrative wing. What are you saying?
So it was built in 17th century, and main reason is to protect from the Tibetan invasion. So the walls of the buildings are 1.5 meter to 2.5 meter thick, so that it is more secured from the invaders. So most of the time, like Buddhist warriors are always victorious. So the name of this fortress itself is known as Pungtan Techin Fortress, which means the fortress of a great happiness. So after building this Dzong, people got a lot of peace.
This is part of the new, restored, after the 1994 devastating flood, which washed half of the Dzong away. That must have been quite some flood. They're hard working, these monks, in this Dzong. This is the Royal Coronation Dzong, young man. Are you lucky to be living here or what? They've got a brisk walk, these monks. I love these South Indian, almost Viennese buntings. This is the door to the tomb of the great Lama or Abbot? Lama. The Lama. From which century?
17th century.
17th century.
16th.
The House of Orange is well represented today. All these menhirs and menhiras from the Dutch Haute Gratin tour. Think about the 60s, is they're all 70. So there's a lake under the fortress.
And like once our king and chief abbot, like they're going inside to see that lake, and it was very foggy. So from that on, like it said that it is a bad omen if we see the lake with the fog and all. It's not very clear, so it's quite unlucky. So that's why like it's now sealed and nobody's allowed to go in.
Ah, it's sealed.
Not even our king and chief abbot.
They've sealed off the lake.
Yeah.
Because quite often Hindu temples have a taman or a lake section, or they're on floating lakes, or they're on confluences, yeah.
So like the
Chief.
So like all winter he spent his winter month out here because like it's very cold.
With the corrugated iron roof.
Yeah.
Not very nice. I'm sure he's got a good view, but he needs a better roof. That gold top knot is his symbol. So this is the systematic formula tantric tartan And written how to unify the country?
Yes, in 17th century.
Isn't this Sanskrit?
It's in the classical Tibetan.
Classical Tibetan. But no one knows how to read it anymore.
We can read it, but like we don't know how to use it.
Oh. It's always great, the four animals showing the good cooperation, the good relationships.
To achieve the big tree at the backside.
And then you achieve a big tree at the back.
With the fruit.
Because of the cooperation.
So that they don't have to depend.
Interesting to see this scuffle here in front of the ancient Bali Aga temple gate form, the four-poster pavilion over the gate. You have that in the mountains in Bali, this form of gate. It's very ancient. Oh, off we go into the wild blue yonder. In the back seat we have the best friend of the second queen. Hi boys! Wow, we're really still in the Royal Motorcade. Oop. The magnificent magnolia tree, native to Bhutan. Handsome. Not ringing for a taxi?
Careful with this.
I'll be careful. What's your name? Huh? For some reason the Bhutanese Buddhists love the bruises, love the brutality. This is a typical village's living room on the way to Punakha. It's a very mysterious, dusty village. Just a few blue accents. They're packing the concrete. She thought she was getting the hazeline snow and she got the boot polish. This house under construction. Oh, hi Mum. Namaste. Most wonderful garden approach to this temple, which is a 15th or 16th century temple built by the divine madman, overlooking the river, called the Punakha River, because we're in Punakha area. What would be extraordinary rice fields, but it's now all rather smoky. There's been some forest fires. Gorgeous road up. The forecourt of the temple. The guide's getting up, tidying up their goes under this broad branches of the Bodhi tree. What's the name of the temple?
Chimil Hakang.
Chibil Hakang.
Chimil
Hakang.
Yes. And it dates back to 1499.
1499, the 15th century. 5 years after Columbus discovered America. The original 1499 stupa he built is still there,
Yes.
and he saved the valley from the demons
Yes.
by changing someone into a dog,
Yes.
and the dog was buried here under that stupa.
Yeah, under that
So it's called the No Dog Temple.
So that's why it's called No Dog Temple. Chimil Hakang. Chi means dog. So dog is under the stupa, and the stupa is from
weren't allowed to shoot inside the actual sanctum sanctorum, but there was a group of young novice monks, because it's become a monastery now, and the head abbot,
Yes.
and the relics were there. We were blessed by the relics,
The bow and arrow.
and the scroll. The pet dog was there in the statue form, and his elder brother, very handsome. And at the moment, the present, there is the reincarnation of his elder brother now in Bhutan,
Yes.
who is the chief abbot at the moment.
It was taken care by our chief abbot.
Ah, thank you. The rice fields, leaving the No-Dog Temple in the Punakha Valley.